This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, coming to you from the new media production studio. The lead stories are Google fires AI engineer who claimed the AI chatbot is a person. Uber admits to security breach cover-up. Kmart, I didn't even know they were still available, but Kmart in Australia halts facial recognition software test. And NASA reveals an ambitious new plan to detect signs of life on distant planets. Wait to hear this one. I want to welcome you to episode 1614 for Monday, July 25th. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. You can support this show today at geeknewscentral.com/insider. Hey, I want to give a warm welcome to all the new listeners of the show. Thanks for being here. Of course, I want to make sure you visit geeknewscentral.com. Get over to the website, get subscribed to the show, and when you do, it's very, very simple. Follow or subscribe to the podcast. That'll get you connected, as well as checking out all the great content on the website. You can also get subscribed to our newsletter. Our newsletter contains everything that I'm going to be talking about during the show tonight, delivered directly to your inbox. Our chat room is available as well at geeknews.chat. That's a Mastodon chat server. Join the Federation, or our Discord channel. We still have our Slack channel available for those that want to participate as well. It's very simple to do so. All you got to do is contact me via email at geeknews@gmail.com, geeknews@gmail.com, or at geeknews on Twitter. It's the easiest way to stay connected with the show. Best way to do that, definitely consider dropping me email about the content that we have on the podcast tonight. Of course, I want to welcome you again to the podcast. Thank you for being here. All our partner shows are linked at geeknewscentral.com. Check out all the great content on the website. And our partner shows include the new media show, the Gadget Professor, the GNC Week in Review with Scott and Kirk. Lots of great content there for you to consume from our partner shows and content on the website as well. A little bit rusty getting back into the action here after being off a week. Talk about that here in a minute. But of course, we want to thank our sponsor, the longest running continuous sponsor of podcasts. That's our good friends at GoDaddy. Again, get over to geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy to check out all the great deals I've got there. We've got $1.99 a month economy hosting, $1.99 a month economy hosting. We've got $2.99 a month managed WordPress hosting. We've got 30% off of new product purchases. We got $4.99.coms or new or transfer domains. And of course, we've got a free trial of GoDaddy Website Builder, your choice of personal, business, or business plus plans. All those deals are right there at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Did talk to had an email from my rep. We had a good July. My reporting period is from June 26th to July 25th. So got that information today. We had a good 30-day period. I want to thank all of you for ongoing support of the sponsor. And I want to make sure, again, that you invoke these savings as soon as you can, because what it's really going to do, it's going to give you options, lots of options. I think we're probably going to get some news here very, very soon that there's a potential recession coming. And if that's the case, I want you all to be prepared. And one thing I just noticed, and this show, I do several. There we go. We got the screen rearranged. I did not reset from my previous podcast last week with the new media show. But anyway, hey, thanks to the sponsor, GoDaddy, for being a longtime supporter of the show here. And thank you for your ongoing support of the podcast. So let me talk just a little bit. Last week, no shows. I had planned on it being a regular full production week. But Monday night of last week, I just kind of hit the wall. Mentally, physically, really everything. So I had commitments, hardcore commitments, Tuesday and Wednesday that I really could not reschedule. And so I basically took Thursday, Friday. I took all of today off. So this is the first thing I've done really a work perspective since last Wednesday. Answered a few emails, but nothing major. Just really had to have some downtime. I really, really did. And to be honest with you, I could use some more, but just too many things going on in the world, too many things going on with business to take any more time off right now. So anyway, that's why I was out last week. Again, was not planned. It's just one of those things that, I just kind of realized that I was not being as proficient. His day job was being impacted as well. So Friday, I tried to go camping, but got ate out by mosquitoes. It was okay in the afternoon at the camp that I had built, but it just all of a sudden they just swarmed me, and everything I was doing to keep them away was not working. So I escaped back to the house Friday. Just complete chill. Lots of YouTube. Slept in. Really had a nice relaxing time. Did a few little minor projects on my own. But it was a good break. So appreciate y'all for being patient with me. But the podcast awards are still going on. Got 6 days left on nominations. Get over there and nominate shows. And definitely go over there and vote for your favorite shows. Appreciate it when you do that. Submit your vote at podcastawards.com. So that's kind of getting you caught up on what's going on. Plan on being here with you this week for 2 regular shows. No schedule, no travel really at this point yet until, well, I take that back. So next week, Monday, there will be a show on Monday. But on August 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I'm going to be down in Columbus with my team, and I come back on Saturday. So more than likely, there will be no show on August 4th. But between now and next Monday, we'll have this show and 2 additional shows. But my team is having a big team meeting. The entire team's coming in town. So lots of things going on. So definitely no show on August 4th. But it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe we're already fast approaching August. It's just it's amazing where this month has gone, to be quite frank. So when Kirk did a good job in getting prep ready, but the first article is a little bit weird in that Google's fired Blake, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Lemoine, the engineer who claimed the AI chatbot is a person. Google says he violated security rules and slammed woefully unfounded claims. So it is curious. He was an engineer over there, and he claimed that the company's LaMDA chatbot is sentient. And he worked in the company's responsible AI unit, violated data security policies. Google says if an employee shares concerns about her work, as Blake did, we reviewed them extensively, found Blake's claims that Lambda is sentient to be wholly unfounded, and worked to clarify what with him for many months, Google said in a statement. The employee confirmed on Friday that Google sent an email terminating employment. The Wall Street Journal wrote that he also reportedly said he's talking with lawyers about what the appropriate next steps are. Google's statement said it called regrettable that despite lengthy engagement on this topic, Blake still chose to persistently violate clear employment and data security policies that include the need to safeguard product information. Lambda stands for Language Model for Dialogue Applications. Lambda has been through 11 distinct reviews. They publish a research paper detailing the work that goes into its responsible development. And in a previous statement, to ours in mid-June, shortly after he was suspended from work, Google said that today's conversational models of AI are not close to sentient. And so he believed, he didn't say it was a human. He said it was sentient. A sentient and a human are two different things, right? We're by nature sentient, but we're human. When you say something is a person, that just implies that someone's responding with just chatting. But when he says it's sentient, that's a whole different ball game. I think some things are getting close, but I don't know. So, is Google trying to hide something here, or what? Time will tell. Uber is admitting covering up massive 2016 data breach and settlement with U.S. prosecutors. The personal information of 57 million people was exposed in the hack. So, this information basically was held for a year, 2016 to 2017. And they paid $148 million to settle civil litigation tied to the data breach. And they paid $100,000 ransom to delete the data from the hacker, to not publicize the information. So, but anyway, this, they don't say. Basically, they're admitting to cover up. In order to not be prosecuted for the cover-up, Uber admits that its personnel failed to report the November 2016 data breach to the FTC despite a pending FTC investigation into data security at the company. So Uber, again, is trying to clean up things that have happened in the past, and but it doesn't look like there's going to be criminal prosecutions. Now, I'll be frank, I didn't know that there was Kmart still in Australia. I don't think I've seen a Kmart store. There was one in Hawaii when I was in Hawaii, but I think that one closed. Are there any Kmart stores still open in the United States? Well, retailers in Australia are the latest companies to back away from facial recognition. They're under pressure to do so. The Guardian reports that Kmart and Bunnings, I don't know who Bunnings, I guess that's a store down there, have temporarily halted the use of facial recognition in their local stores while the Office of Australian Information Commission investigates the privacy implications of their system. The two chains were trialing the technology to spot banned customers, prevent refund fraud, and reduce theft. And both retailers defended their implementations. A Kmart spokesperson stressed that his facial recognition tech was used for preventing criminal activity and had strict privacy controls. Apparently, they've been asked if Kmart's U.S. operators about any possible implications in North American shops. Bunnings' managing director, meanwhile, claimed Choice was mischaracterizing face detection company trial as only dimension can catch banned customers and doesn't store images for regular shoppers. So anyway, facial recognition, again, under scrutiny. And definitely, I guess if you got a Kmart down in Australia, consider yourself lucky. They're pretty much gone here. Amazon and others killed them. Actually, I think Kmart was largely killed by Walmart. Richard, thanks for checking in. He says, "What's up, buddy? I can actually listen to you live. I took a floater holiday at FedEx. LOL. I'm glad you took a day off. It's nice to have one of those as I've just come off my own. So understand completely. If you're watching live, make sure you check in and say hello, whether it be on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. Make sure you reply and say hey. This next story is where you begin to wonder about your taxpayer dollars here in America. NASA's Institute for Advanced Concepts is famous for supporting outlandish ideas in astronomy and space exploration fields, like sci-fi stuff, like really like trying to get real big picture. Since being reestablished in 2011, the Institute has supported a wide variety of projects as part of its three-phase program. However, so far, only 3 projects have gone on to receive what they call Phase 3 funding. And one of those just released a white paper describing a mission to get a telescope that could effectively see biosignatures on nearby exoplanets by utilizing the gravitational lens of our sun. Now, I don't know anything about the gravitational lens of our own sun, but I was pretty astonished to hear this. Wait till you hear. The Phase 3 distinction comes with $2 million in funding, which in the case went to JPL, whose scientist Slava Trusev was the principal investigator. He teamed up with the Aerospace Corporation for this latest white paper, which describes a mission concept in more detail and defines what technologies already exist and what needs further development. Instead of launching a large craft that would take a long time to travel anywhere, the proposed mission would launch several small CubeSats and then self-assemble on the 25-year journey out to the solar gravitational lens SGL point. Now, the point, now get this, is somewhere between 550 and 1,000 AU on the other side of the sun. Now, today, Voyager 1 has taken 44 years to only get 156 AU out. Now, they're asking, so how could a spacecraft get to 3 times the distance while taking almost half the time? Well, they're going to use a gravitational boost from the sun, and just like the Parker Solar Probe, they're going to boost these CubeSats to get there in 25 years. Now, that's a big number to be boosted to 25 AU a year, considering these things have to be hardened, they have to have nuclear power, they have to, these are going to be more complicated than a CubeSat, because if they're going to self-assemble, where are they going to get materials? So this goes, and they're giving them, how much was it? $3 million or $2 million? $2 million to start looking into this. Now, I know we got to think out of the box, but there's a heck of a lot that can go wrong here. And it's probably going to be 25 years before they're ever ready to launch anything that could get out there. How are they going to have a satellite that is as complex or more complex than James Webb self-assemble itself from CubeSats? I don't know. Someone's going to have to clue me in here. This thing doesn't need to be that complicated. How do you self-assemble? We're not there yet. And where do they get the materials? It's not like they can stop by a planet and pick up iron and wires and cable and glass and whatever else they need. It's a little crazy. No, not a little, a lot crazy. Moving on here, if you have a Pixel 6a, users are reporting big security issue with the fingerprint sensor. Well, apparently some people are not happy. They can't unlock their phone with the 6a. I noticed that my Samsung phone has trouble unlocking with my thumb at times. So it's not a perfect technology for sure. The in-display sensor is not recognizing fingerprints properly, which could be a cause for phone security concerns. Claims are coming in about this. Every claim seems to suggest that Google Pixel 6a fingerprint sensor already has issues. Had issues before its official release. So, do you have a Pixel 6a? Are you able to unlock it successfully from your thumb or not? I'm going to lose some space cred here, but I don't think I ever watched the Orville. But the Orville will stream on Disney Plus starting on August 10th. So I guess people are pretty excited about this, that this is going to happen. And after a delay of nearly 3 years, season 3 of Hulu's The Orville finally launched last month and proved to be worth the wait. Now, creator Seth MacFarlane has announced some extras to basically to get us excited. The first 3 seasons of the series will also stream on Disney Plus. So, okay. The Orville's been relatively popular with critics, but moved from much wider distribution with Fox to the smaller audience of Hulu after 2 seasons. With over 85 million subscribers internationally, though, Disney Plus will greatly expand the pool of potential viewers. Have any of you watched The Orville at all? I might go looking for it to see if I can binge watch season 1, season 2, but let me know if you have watched it. I would love to hear your comments. GM is launching an online EV service to educate and woo consumers. This program is to basically get people convinced that they should buy a EV car from GM. The automaker is launching a site called EV Live, a digital platform that connects shoppers with EV specialists. Will spread EV adoption and create a larger market for its new battery electric models, including the just launched Chevy Blazer SS. Available 7 days a week, EV Live provides real-time answers on EV-related questions such as how to use a public charging network or install a home charging station. Here's the thing that I have challenges with still if I think about using an EV car. If I was to make an example to a trip that was, let's say, at a normal range of an EV vehicle, let's say I'm going to go 300 miles. And I'm going to get into some place after that travel time and need to find food, get lodging arranged, going to be potentially needing a little bit of a break, and it's not normal. 300 miles on a normal travel day is not much. I used to, travel much further, 10, 12 hours on a normal travel day. But if you can go up 300 miles by getting a charge, how much time do you really need? Because if I want to get, let's say I just want to pop off the highway and grab McDonald's. So I'm sitting in the car eating Mickey D's and potentially finding a charge station. Then I got to sit there an hour or 2. Well, how long do I have to sit there to get charged? And that's my concern. I think if you are not going to use this vehicle for travel, if you're just going to use it for commuting back and forth to work, and you're not going to use this as a road trip vehicle, I think your whole concept of a road trip completely changes when you have electric vehicles. Sure, I see Teslas and electric vehicles on the highway all the time. And maybe you just be accustomed to getting a charge where you can, where at the same time you can eat. But as there becomes more EVs on the road, with this big push, the charging stations are not keeping up. And we know they're all making an investment in charging infrastructure. Everyone's spending money on charging infrastructure, including the U.S. government. But we're 2, 3, 4 years away from seeing significant expansion of the charging network. We're not in a situation now where the cars can only go 100 miles. They can go a good distance, but still, it definitely, they're not advantageous for doing road trips, in my personal opinion. Maybe. Now, if you've got a Tesla and you can charge it with a Tesla Superstation, they're pretty quick. Those chargers charge fast. And I don't think they have to be that long on the charger. So, but I don't think these other manufacturers have, most of the chargers I see at Home Depot and these other types of places are the slow ones, the same type that you have in your garage. And, you're on that thing for a couple of hours or more. So I don't know. I'm just I remain unconvinced completely. If you live in a city and you don't plan on going out of it, I'm sure electric vehicle is perfect. But I just look at it from a rural standpoint and road trip standpoint. Just to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Hey, there was a big kahoo. Wall Street Journal reported that Elon Musk had an affair with Sergey Brin's wife. That was one of the reasons why Sergey Brin divorced his wife. And some folks are following up here. Business Insider saying that Sergey reportedly told his advisors to sell all his financial investment in Elon Musk companies. And but it's interesting. There were some tweets today from Elon that said he was at a party with Sergey over the weekend. I don't know. I think, and don't take this the wrong way, when these guys have this kind of money, I'm suspecting that their perceptions change a little bit. And this is based on a rumor that he had an affair with Sergey's wife. And, but again, none of this has been confirmed. Lots of rumors. Wall Street, Elon has denied it outright. Sergey has not necessarily said whether or not he denies it completely, but it's definitely an interesting. Everyone's coming after Elon right now in a big way. It's like as soon as he said he wanted to buy Twitter, man, the target was put on his back, and everyone's been gunning for him ever since. He went from the darling of the tech industry to people treating him as a pariah. It's too bad. He's still doing what he's going to do. People are still buying his cars. So, yeah, stock has suffered, of course. But I don't know. You guys, what do you guys think? Geeknews@gmail.com. Geeknews@gmail.com. Or is it just he's the latest villain that they want to bring down? Meta has announced it's shutting down Tune, its social app for couples. I never even heard about this. It's winding down a little after 2 years after it launched. Users, including the reporter of the article, began receiving notifications about the impending shutdown last week. Advise them download their data before September 19th. So, with Tune, you were able to capture and react to artifacts of relationship digitally, creating a shared scrapbook for those memorable moments. Anyway, that's it's gone. There's a report out about President Joe Biden's Zoom setup, and I guess he's got a $7,000 rollable touchscreen that comes out, and Zoom is Zoom. It's not that complicated. I can put Zoom on a television monitor too. You don't need a $7,000 monitor. You can put it on a $100 TCL. It's not that complicated here. So I don't know why they're covering this here. Now, of course, the president, you would expect them to have great video, great audio. I think that would be important. And, of course, hopefully they have good internet at the White House, considering most government agencies have horrible internet. But the whole rig is about 6 feet tall, weighs about 125 pounds. And so what else here? Anyway, so it's basically can be rolled around wherever he's at. And I guess it makes sense. There are lots of video conferencing rigs all around, but this is the one that they've talked about for the president. And of course, the president is now recovering from COVID. He got that new BA5 or whatever it is variant of it that's sweeping the country right now. Cadillac has unveiled its $300,000 flagship EV, Meet the Celestiq. So they announced the pricing on this thing. $300,000 four-door, meant to become the brand's flagship sedan. That's a big big amount of money for a Cadillac. Also, creators on Facebook can now earn money through videos that use licensed music. They claim this show is running licensed music all the time. I get a Facebook copyright notice just about every time I put this show online. I have no idea why. But this is an interesting move here. Made announced today is creators on Facebook can now earn money through their Facebook videos that use licensed music. The company is launching music revenue sharing to allow video creators to include licensed music in their videos on Facebook and earn a share of in-stream ad revenue. The company says this opens up a new way for both creators and music holders, right holders, to earn money. All the creators have been able to use licensed music in videos that haven't been able to monetize them until now. Here's the cool thing that we've been playing around with. And if you want to try something new, to listen to the show, there's an app called Fountain, a podcast listening app called Fountain, that you can connect your digital wallet, your AKA Bitcoin wallet, crypto wallet, to and deposit Satoshis to this show. And here's the cute thing about Fountain. You earn money, you as a listener, earn money when you listen to this show on the Fountain app. And you also can donate Satoshis to this show through the same app. It's one of several. I'm using Fountain now. I've been playing around with it. It's a decent podcast app. But the main thing is you can actually support and do donations to the show through the Lightning Network. It's really not important to know that, except that you can actually get crypto deposited into the app and be able to donate to a variety of shows that are all value for value enabled. So you can support the show with micro donations. I think like a 50,000 Satoshis is about $20. I think is about the number. So if you submit a 5,000, well, $2. If you submit 1,000, well, do the math. It breaks down. It all depends on the price of Bitcoin, because a Satoshi is a derivative of a Bitcoin. So consider supporting the show and using Fountain. It's a great way to support the podcast 2.0. And actually, when you're doing that, you're supporting the app, you're supporting developers, you're supporting the expansion of the podcast space, and you're supporting me. So if you do a donation, let's say it's 1,000, it's actually going to cost you a little more than 1,000, because there's additional splits that go to different individuals. It's 1% here, 1% there. It's a great way to support the entire ecosystem. So by using the app itself, you're supporting the app developer, the Fountain app developer. And again, you get paid in Satoshis. The more you listen, the more you get paid. So definitely check it out. It's very, very cool. All right, moving on. Apple versus Chicago streaming service tax battle ends in a hushed settlement. So apparently Apple TV is basically seek to dismiss the lawsuit. And there was some sort of settlement made where Apple is going to have to write the city of Chicago a check, or writing them a check, based upon their amusement tax. The city has what's called a 9% fee on entertainment facilities. The law expanded 2015 to include streaming services such as Apple TV, Music, Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, and others. Unsurprisingly, the expansion was opposed by streaming providers, but an agreed dismissal order filed last week in the Circuit Court of Cook County saw Apple banning its fight in an undisclosed settlement that dismisses claims with prejudice. While decisions in the U.S. largely favor streaming services that want to avoid paying extra taxes, the settlement in Chicago could be seen as an effort by Apple to avoid a ruling stating the tax is legal. So in March this year, Cook County Judge Dan Duffy granted Chicago's motion to dismiss the initial suit, but left room for Apple to amend its complaint. Duffy presided over last week's rejected Amendment 2. Apple's lawsuit was first filed in 2018 and alleged violations of the Internet Tax Freedom Act, et cetera, but apparently there's 13 states with lawsuits that's going on. 6 cases have since been dismissed or ruled in favor of streaming services, with others outstanding because they don't want to pay that franchise tax, as many call it, to in the local community. General Motors has secured $2.5 billion in government loans to build an EV battery factory. It will be the Energy Department's first loan for batteries. The Energy Department's Advanced Technology Vehicle Manufacturing Program hasn't offered a loan to an electric car company since 2010. But Energy Department is providing $2.5 billion to GM and LG, a joint venture called Ultimate Cells, for the sake of constructing EV battery cell factories. So the money will be used for manufacturing plants in Michigan, Ohio, and Tennessee. It will come with conditions and is expected to close sometime in the months ahead. Production starts at the Ohio plant in August and should be followed by Tennessee in late 2023, Michigan 2024. So the loan isn't surprising. The government has easily supported these companies in the past. Twitter launches probe after a hacker claims to swipe 5.4 million users' details. And the person using the handle Devil claims that to have siphoned the details and is selling it all on a cybercrime forum. A digital privacy advocacy group that first reported the security breach has said that the info belongs to celebrities, companies, ordinary citizens, and accounts with highly desirable usernames. So Twitter says we're reviewing the latest data to verify the authenticity of the claims, ensure the security of the accounts in question. The statement also noted the exploited bug was reported through Twitter's bounty program and fixed in January. So we'll see what's going to happen here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on. Intel has struck a deal to manufacture Mediatek's chips. Its foundries will add significant capacity to Mediatek in North America and Europe. So this strategic partnership to build chips for a range of smart edge devices using Intel foundry services. The aim is to help Mediatek build a more balanced, resilient supply chain with added capacity in the United States and Europe. Mediatek is a fabless chip maker that supplies processors for smartphones made by OnePlus, Samsung, and others, with most of its capacity currently handled by fab giant TSMC. However, it looks like Intel will build chips for less glamorous devices used for industrial computing, medical devices, Internet of Things applications, and more. Intel currently manufactures chips for Mediatek used in its 5G data card business. So where's this going to happen here? Now, of course, the U.S. Senate is set to still vote on the CHIPS Act. It has not been voted on yet. Now, some of you may not agree with this, but MakeUseOf.com has an article about the 6 reasons you should still use disposable batteries. They say, although rechargeable batteries are preferred for most electronics, there's still reasons to use disposable batteries. Now, with the latest battery technology such as LiFePO4, NIMH, and NICD, rechargeable batteries have become the go-to choice for powering all things. Although rechargeable batteries have indeed revolutionized how they store energy, they still have certain problems and shortcomings that need to be solved. Now, I've tried many times to reuse rechargeables, and it's just been a pain. So, number 1, disposables are safer. By nature, disposable batteries are safer than rechargeable. The reason is that process of recharging batteries can have multiple points of failure. Disposables are easier to recycle. I think most people throw their batteries in the trash, to be quite honest with you. Please don't do that. Number 3, according to the article, they're less hazardous to the environment. Rechargeable batteries are less in e-waste. It doesn't mean it automatically reduces negative impacts. Rechargeable batteries are made from highly toxic materials such as lead, cadmium, and cobalt. These materials are hard to recycle and are environment hazard. They are so hazardous that laws and initiatives have been established to mandate or pressure manufacturers to end of life of recharge batteries by providing disposal centers. Again, I think most of them end up in the trash. And disposables definitely store energy longer. I agree with that completely. Anytime I want to use a rechargeable battery, I'll always have to recharge the thing before I stick it in something. And disposables are more energy dense than rechargeable batteries. That is true. It's very, very much true. So are you using rechargeables or are you still using disposables? Also, you have a teenager that's driving. Do you want to keep track of them? Are you worried about what they're doing? Are they speeding? There are 5 apps for tracking your new teen driver. Now, some of you can get an insurance break by letting your teen be tracked. I think it's a little bit over the edge to do so, but I know a lot of people that use the app Life 360. Over 100 million people have used Life 360, and it's one of the most popular apps for parents to track teenage drivers. It just doesn't track the location, but it lets you know their driving behavior, such as speed, phone distraction, hard braking, and acceleration. Not surprising there. FamiSafe is another one. I've never heard of that. FamiSafe. Bouncy is another one. Tesla app is one if you own a Tesla. Hum by Verizon. And again, some insurances will actually let you save money in insurance on your teenager if you put a tracking app in the vehicle. And if you know a teacher or you are a teacher, there's a great review on PC World about the best laptops for teachers, best overall, best battery life, and more. And the thing is, I mostly when I see teachers, they're using MacBooks, but I know that some schools are Windows based. But the Asus Vivo Pro 16 has basically said best overall, comes in about $1,600. The Acer Aspire 5, best on a budget, $400. The Samsung Galaxy Books 2 Pro 360, most portable, comes in at $1,500. The Lenovo Yoga Ni14 is the best 2-in-1, comes in at $1,149. Acer Chromebook Spin 713 definitely has the best battery life at $629. So they talk about this. If you're a teacher or know a teacher looking for a new laptop, definitely check the article out that I have linked up in the show notes. So a man who lost $176 million worth of Bitcoin in a dump wants to use a pair of $75,000 robot dogs in his master plan to get it back. Now, this is interesting. He threw out a hard drive to a landfill in 2013 that contained 8,000 Bitcoins. He has an $11 million business plan to excavate the drive and recover the Bitcoins. So he basically wants to go in and gut this landfill. Says he's put together an $11 million business plan to recover the hard drive, the value of which stands at roughly $106 million as of today. His plan includes 2 robotic spot dogs and scan for the particular hard drives. He's been denied access to this landfill since 2013. So I don't think he's getting in there, to be honest with you. But boy, oh boy, talk about a treasure hunt. I'm surprised there's people not out there digging now. A chess-playing robot broke its 7-year-old opponent's finger. A chess robot accidentally broke the finger of its 7-year-old opponent during an exhibition in Moscow. The child apparently moved his piece too soon, and the robot grabbed his finger and squeezed it, causing a fracture before help could arrive. Video shows the robot grabbing the boy's finger and holding it for several seconds. It's not clear what went wrong. Well, maybe the robot has got some safety issues to work over. Maybe the robot is sentient. Who knows? But keep your hand away from the robot's fingers. T-Mobile agrees to a $500 million settlement in a mass data breach. The breach affected more than 76 million people, the carrier says. So they've settled a class action lawsuit, and the wireless carrier said a court final will pay $350 million to settle for the customer's claim and an additional $150 million to upgrade its data protection. So again, another class action lawsuit that probably each person will get about 50 cents for. Now, this next one, I'm going to save this article for the last, because I'll just save it to last. Next up, Verizon Wireless consumers leave as price hikes start showing up on bills. So raising the price, people are worried about how much money they're going to have in their budget, and they're leaving $212,000 or something in the last quarter. If you have HBO Max, there's a lineup of what's new in August, and a whole bunch of pretty good lineup of movies. But the HBO Max lineup is available if you want to check and see what's coming. All right, this last article, how can I put this gently? NASA scientist says that male astronauts should not, should not indulge in any adult activities in space. They say that people venturing outside of our atmosphere advise against taking care of themselves in zero gravity. The reason? Female astronauts could accidentally get impregnated by stray fluids. Appears that NASA already has strict guidelines about such activities. And that's an engineer named Smithy, answered questions on the Conan O'Brien on his podcast recently on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. So, TMI, I guess. Apparently, when staff at NASA have been answering questions about self-pleasure in outer space, they've been releasing some truly stunning image recently. Okay. Meanwhile, when the staff at NASA haven't been answering questions, okay. I was kind of like, what? Pictures. So anyway, I'll leave you guys to read this article. Strict guidelines to those activities. That's a interesting. Wouldn't you like to read those guidelines? I think it would be very interesting, don't you? I think it would be a very interesting read. I'm sure someone's going to dig that stuff up. All right, as always, I'm at geeknews@gmail.com. On Twitter, I'm at geeknews. It's been my pleasure to bring you the show today. I want to thank you all for being here, for again having patience with me last week as I was out. It's been my pleasure to bring you the podcast. I'll be back with you on Thursday for another show. And everyone, take care. We'll see you next time. Take care of one another. Be safe out there. Next time. Bye-bye.